Admiral's Log. Peace with Spain has been re-established, marking another significant milestone in our journey. As part of the peace agreement, Spain has relinquished control of Gibraltar, granting us dominance over this critical gateway into the Mediterranean. This strategic victory underscores how far we've come, transforming China's influence from the Pacific to the heart of the European waterways. With control over the Strait of Gibraltar, we now hold the keys to one of the world's most vital maritime choke points. This newfound power not only enhances our global reach, but also secures our strategic interests in the Mediterranean, opening new avenues for influence and commerce. However, as one conflict ends, another begins. War with the Italians has erupted, presenting us with both a challenge and an opportunity. Our control over Gibraltar could not have come at a more opportune time. With this strategic advantage, we can now effectively manage and monitor naval movements in and out of the Mediterranean, positioning ourselves to exert pressure on Italian forces and secure our dominance in this new theater of war. As we prepare to engage the Italian Navy, the significance of our recent gains become ever clearer. The path ahead will be fraught with challenges, but our strategic position has never been stronger. We stand ready to face whatever comes next, with the full might of the Chinese Navy and the unwavering resolve of our people. Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome to episode 40. It's the Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts campaign, China Rules the World, or at least we are definitely making good strides to do that. The United States has been mostly decimated, South America is almost entirely Chinese. There are very few territories that I don't actually control at the moment. We still have Trinidad over there as well as Puerto Rico under control of the Russians. Everything else is mine. As for Africa, we're making decent progress here, except for the German-held territories. There are still some territories held by the Italians, but that might change because I've just instigated a war with the Italians. I've gone to war with them because they have 43 battleships and I want to have a closer look at how to sink them. So, 43 battleships against the Chinese 8. That's a 5-to-1 ratio. Looks like a fair battle. Of course, you never quite know if you're going to get them all at the same time or one by one. Now, something that really helps me is the fact that all of these ships, if they want to ever leave the Mediterranean, are going to have to go the long way around. Because once I concluded my war with Spain, Spain said, "Hey, would you like Gibraltar?" And I said, "Absolutely." So now I own Gibraltar, and with that, I control the the Chinese Strait of Gibraltar. Yes, I guess it now is. So that means I can control whether or not ships go through here, and right now it is blocked for the Italians. That leaves the Italians really one way of getting in and out of the Mediterranean, which is the Red Sea, and of course the Suez Canal, which is currently controlled by Egypt. Now I don't really know who's currently lined up with Egypt, because I haven't exported any ships to them. But right now they're not exactly making a fuss about the guys still sending ships back and forth. It would be really interesting to see if the Italians still have their ships here. Yeah, they do have some. 6 heavies, or 6 battles. Yeah, that's quite a bit there. But look at that. 6 battleships. The German battleships were about 100,000 tons each. This is a fleet that has a very sizable amount of ships, and it's still just under 700,000 tons. This suggests to me that those battleships that the Italians hold aren't that strong. The Italians, however, don't just have to worry about me. They're also at war with the United States. The real question is that a hot war or is that a cold war? And it seems to be like, well, somewhere in the middle. The Americans have a battleship, a battlecruiser, and some smaller stuff. Yet, don't exactly expect them to go here. Not yet. As for my expedition into Western France, for those of you who have seen the previous episode, I have it. So, believe it or not, but as somebody pointed out in a recent comment, keep in mind, guys, China is invading Europe from the west, right? From the western side. I'm not doing a land war conquering everything that stands in my way. Nope, I'm doing it from the west, taking Western France, Portugal, Well, I was aiming to gather some territory in Spain, but unfortunately the Spanish put up a bit more resistance and sued a bit harder for peace than I was prepared for. Anyway, let's go to war. Right now, I still have a couple of battleships who are undergoing refits. Some of them, however, are ready. The Gigon from 1951, the Breach Creeper, ready to go. The rest of these ships, let's send them out into the Western Mediterranean and see who comes up. Oh, there we go. The Breach Creeper is still refitting. Let's see who comes out, because there is likely going to be some pretty serious resistance. As for the Italian territories, what do I want? Because I do believe that there is quite a lot to invade. Corsica could be a nice stepping stone into further territory for the Italians to lose. Sardinia, Western Sicily, like normally these things would be a little bit out of your reach, but they're not that bad because they only really have one port. So Western Sicily, 15 billion in territory. Sardinia, 12 billion. Not bad, not bad, not bad. This is 61 billion, this is 74 billion. It only has 2 ports, however. Yet these ports, especially the port of Gaeta, is enormous. 1.1 million tons is what you can harbor there. So yeah, that's going to be a very, very difficult area to take. What I hope will happen is that my army randomly spawns in western France and tries to walk into southern France, which is held by the Italians. And from there, we might be able to just step our way into Italy. Of course, the Italians have 100% army logistics, and I have 14. So in that sense, it's not looking that good. Let's first see if I can decimate some more of their smaller territories, and potentially as my army marches in from the northwest, I will march in from the southeast. Let's see if the Italians are willing to party. Interestingly, the Italians had the same plan. They have launched a major offensive from southern France into western France. I wonder exactly what we're going to get there. Ivory Coast, yeah, why not? Yeah. I'm defending with 655,000 men, but that is not necessarily going to be enough to stop the Italians. I really do not want to lose western France. Those ports of Rochelle and Brest, they're very good, and I'd hate to see those get transferred to the Italians. So we're going to have to try and stop them as quickly as possible, which means we're going to counter-invade. We're going to invade Sardinia, because it is something that is not susceptible to something like a land invasion. So that's where my ships are going to go. These guys are going to go here. These guys, that is, yeah, a bunch of battleships and heavy cruisers. They're also going to go here. I am not exactly sure which port we'll have to block, but let's just park some ships all around Sardinia. As for the other conquest spot over there, Ivory Coast, 1.7 billion in income. I do need 60,000 tons, though. Now, I did just take control of Brunei over here. There's constantly more territories that are up for grabs. I have a 60,000 ton battle cruiser over here, the MC Foreign Policy. Well, this is, I guess, one way of enforcing your foreign policy. You're gonna go... That's the shortest route there. Is it really? Because that's not ideal. Okay, in that case, I'm going to retask the Robin Lush to go here to help out with that capture, because we're going to need to get there fairly quickly. I do believe I have more ships. We definitely have more ships. The Breach Creeper's refitting. You are in eastern... Right, you're in Philadelphia. Here. You guys are also going to move out. I don't think that there's anything in the Atlantic that can threaten me, because the only power that I'm currently at war with is the Italian one, and they cannot get through Gibraltar. So any ships that I have on the eastern seaboard of the United States, I can just, well, the divided states, I can just bring over and complete with additional conquests here. I think that's all the battleships already in motion. We have new battle cruisers. Yeah, we got a couple of heavy cruisers in the Caribbean. I have quite a few ships, but there's mostly a light cruiser fleet. The Lanky-Gets are still all in service, mostly there to try and bolster that number. My armyology at 17%. I want to get that up. I want to get that higher. So we're going to be building more of those ships. Because I do believe it's most of a theory that the more of those ships that you have in various ports, the better your armed logistics is going to be. It's not 100%, but that's a theory that I currently have. I want to get my building back on track. There. Now, the Italians are going to have to respond to the invasion of Sardinia. They cannot let that stand. The only question is, how much are they willing to throw my way to stop that invasion? A few months later, once again proves how delightfully predictable the AI is. You see, I have a lot of territory in Southeast Asia, and this is where China started, so naturally the AI goes, that's where I'm sending my ships. So we have 9 Italian battleships over there with their escorts. We have another 11 Italian battleships over there with their escorts. Destination, Southeast Asia. Well, congratulations, you've arrived at your destination. What are you going to do now? Because I have essentially no ships here. I got 1 heavy cruiser here, a light cruiser there. Like, it's scattered all over the place. And it's mostly so that I get that army logistics up. But beyond that, I'm doing nothing. So what I'm hoping for is an actual clash with a small Italian departing fleet here. A couple of battleships, a couple of battle cruisers, and their escorts. I have also feinted a second naval invasion onto Corsica, because I thought I could probably get both at the same time. Unfortunately, no such thing, because then the game is seemingly a little unsure about where your naval tonnage is. So with that, I'm really getting a very, very, very low chance to succeed here. And I'm getting a very low chance to succeed here. So at this point, I'm not sure which one is going to work out. Probably Corsica if I move out of range of the invasion of Sardinia. Corsica is far less interesting, but, well, it's the one I might be able to grab. As for this invasion, it's not going that well. Putting it mildly, I have lost 99,000 soldiers, which is 3 times the number that the attacker has lost. Now, if you as the defender are losing 3-1, that's generally not a very good situation to find yourself in, because the defenders most of the time have a defensive advantage. This case, not as much. So, let's hope that I can get some victory points here, as the Italians are seemingly still interested somewhat in patrolling their own waters. And here we go. Battleships Concordia, Corona, Authion, Madonna della Vigna, Redentore del Mundo, Governolo, Leono Trionfante, Lazzardoso, and San Pio Cinque. Yeah, that's a lot of battleships. Thankfully, they're not sporting that big of a gun. It's 14-inch guns. It's just a lot of 14-inch guns. It's 9 14-inch guns per battleship. What do I have to throw against them? I have 2 very sizable battleships. Unfortunately, some on the older side. This is the Veteran Gamer, a state built from 1940. So seeing as it's 1952, yeah, just turned 1952 right now, that means this ship is relatively old. But she is packing 16-inch guns. Grumpy Guy Gamer, 8 15-inch guns. Then we have the 38 tails with a couple of 18-inch guns, more 18-inch guns. We do not, at the moment anyway, have any of our torpedo spamming warships around. These guys are slow, 24 knots. So this gives me an opportunity to damage some of their ships on our way out. I don't want to stay and fight, because I don't think I'll win it. Not against this many ships, but we're going to have a very good try at just damaging as many of their ships as possible before most likely disengaging. With everybody having serious reach, we instantly light up the enemy fleet. I am also going to start instantly turning away because I have not that much of a speed advantage. I can only do 26 knots with this ship. Veteran Gamer could do 25. So that whole disengaging thing, well, it's nice on paper, but whether it'll work in practice remains to be seen. All the heavy cruisers are capable of causing some grief with their torpedo launchers. Maybe that's going to be useful. Their torpedoes only have a range of 14 kilometers, though. Might as well. The rest of the heavy cruisers are kind of scattered. Yeah, let's make one enormous heavy cruiser div. And then we have, well, everything else. That was a lot of incoming shell fire. Who was that targeting? I think it was targeting Grumpy Gamer here. Look at that. That is the effect of all of the firepower from the Italian warships. Well, at least their battleships, that is. That is sizable. Very, very sizable. Oh, something had a flash fire. No. What? I clipped a main tower for 566 points. Okay. And apparently the main tower immediately got blown off. That's agreeable. Alright, battle cruisers. Everybody, follow Yunnan, form up. And let's get out there, bring some torpedoes to the masses. As for the Grumpy Gamer and the Veteran Gamer, holy crap. That rain is making me a bit nervous. You guys are going to continue on starboard. Lanky Git and formation. You are also packing torps. You have a range of 17 clicks. That's really good, guys. Unfortunately, you're basically a very big destroyer, giving you only one torpedo launcher. That's not ideal. We're going to target the lead formation of the battleships here. There, engage that. Oh, we got the Hawaii here? Oh, that's amusing. The Hawaii is that captured / bargained for American battlecruiser that is packing 14-inch guns, but because I'm running an older version of the game, I can't actually update her. Right now, that is a feature that you have. You can upgrade, or you can refit captured ships. But I don't have that feature. Because I'm still running 1.5.0.1. Now, let's have my guys open up with armor piercing, not with HE. We are targeting what now? What the hell are you shooting? You're shooting a destroyer division. I think not. Over here we have a group of most likely light cruisers. It's too big for a DD. Yeah, 7-inch guns, that's a CL. Okay. Gentlemen. I'm going to need you to start turning to port. We're going to line up. Get the torpedo launchers ready. Get the smoke screens ready. And potentially provide some cover for the battleships. Although the distance between smoke screen and battleship might be too much. Now we've done 1.2. No, we've done less than 1k. The enemy's done 1.2. Mostly against my battleships, thankfully, because the other ships definitely wouldn't survive that. Now, at least these BCs, they can run circles around the enemy. And they have ammunition for quite a while. So they should be more than capable of letting loose on the enemy within their own, let's say their own rule set. Yeah, I see how this is going to work out. It is not. Yunnan, Gili, Mecha Medic. Split off. Oh, and now you're led by the Mecha Medic. Oh no. Primary enemy is still the formation system. Target this. Target that. Target that. Don't torpedo anything yet, please. The rest of you, try to just form something that resembles a line. Smoke. I'd love to torpedo the battleships, but all of these escorts have to go first. And I do only have 6-inch guns. I'm not sure if that'll be sufficient to deal with these cruisers. Don't know what their armor scheme is. Ideally, the heavy cruisers would deal with this. But they're still about 19 to 20 clicks out, so they might not be available. As for knocking out these, this is so that my heavy cruisers, the let's say the Yunnan, the Mecha Medic, and the Gili have an opportunity to torpedo the bigger ships. That's the plan, anyways. We're barely landing hits here. You target this. You target that. Yeah, I'm not sitting around with these ships. Not with all the torpedo launchers available. We are going to launch. Lanky-Git, target this. Zucheng, target that. Zhuzhao, target that. And I'm not even going to try that scramble of words. Or scramble of letters, rather. Oh, torps out. Out, out, out. Come on, Lanky-Git. Launch it. Send it. Excellent. Cancel torps. Reload the torps. Fall back. Join the battleships. Follow these big boys. Hold on for a second. Gili, what's your current speed? 32 knots. Okay. Oh, brother, you're going to face the wrath of the fleet there. Yeah. Well, you got your torps in range. Might as well put them to good work. Oh, it looks like we're attracting torpedoes of our own. Turn to port. Hard turn to port. Got the Yunnan over there. They're still dealing with the small escort screen. You don't have torp range yet, right? You got 14 clicks range. The enemy's slightly farther than that. Unfortunate. There we go. We are dealing good damage against these escorts. That's very useful. These torpedoes, I don't expect a whole lot from them. Mechametic. Now you can send. Gili, I need you to launch. Thank you. You too. I know I launched with the Gili, but the Mechametic should be able to dodge that. There you go. We're fine. Second set, out. I'm going to break up that formation. I'm going to tell the Italian ships to start turning around. Who are you? Songjiang. Oh, is that whatever's left of that other division? Yes. Okay. Things are a bit fluid right now. And I don't mean the I don't mean the battle space. Yeah, we're getting some torpedo hits on some of these ships here. Excellent. You guys. Songjiang, you're leading this div. Excellent. Torpedo this. Only you. Not everybody else. Only you. Start turning hard to port. Because the enemy definitely has torpedoes in the water. Oh, it could be nasty here. Yeah, it's going to be nasty here. This is going to get all sorts of problematic. Standard torpedo launch, if and when available. They're going to start launching into each other if I don't micromanage this. Stop. Rehe, aggressively launch against... I don't know, that. Just that. Here comes Feng Chan. Zipping over the battlefield at 60 knots. Here we go again. Rehe, dead launch. Excellent. Feng Chan. Disengage from the div. You got a turning circle that is worse than Kerbal Space Program ships most of the time. Launch it. I have to be careful not to scoop up the torpedoes that were launched by my other ships because they're so fast. I need you to manually target that with the main guns. And we really have to scatter these bigger ships here. Target it. Come on. I have now done 327,000 points of damage. 116k of which was with torpedoes. Here's the Ningxia. Selected speed 77 knots. Looks legit. Torp that. Ooh boy. Everybody, cease fire, cease fire, cease fire. Don't torpedo anything, if you pretty please. Ow! Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. That's just kind of unavoidable. Ningxia, if you can, disengage. At least the battleships seem to be fairly safe. Yeah. Okay, we got the Mecha Medic over here. You're targeting, I don't know. That was the end of the Ningxia. As expected, really. The whole of this cruiser division deal with the CLs, pretty please. The BCs are still circling the enemy. Sort of. Turn to port. The amount of torpedoes over here is getting a bit out of control. Yunnan needs to disengage. We've sunk another light. We've landed a battleship. A couple of torpedo greetings. Yeah, you got hit by 5, but it only did 14,000 damage. The real win, however, is that the whole formation is now changing course. Oh, there's another torp. And it missed. No, it didn't miss. It was a dud. Ah, yes. The game's starting to run a little bit like a PowerPoint presentation at this. Because, well, it's not exactly designed to take on battles as big as these. I really hope that future games, as designed by Game Labs, will actually utilize more than one CPU core. I think that would greatly benefit all of those involved. My battleships over here have done essentially nothing. The Veteran Gamer has done no hits. Not for lack of trying, it just hasn't landed a hit anywhere. Can your 8-inch secondaries do anything? Yeah, they should be. Now, I have done a bunch of damage. Some of it to my own ships. Most of it to the enemy. People, if you can just stay in a line, like, it's not extremely difficult what I'm asking you to do. Just stay in one line. That is all. Now, how are we dealing with the light cruiser group here? What is this then? Why are you here? Bloody hell. Disengage. Gongjan. Detach. Stop. They're also definitely speeding. Stop. Thank you. Oh, they're not speeding that much. Let's target one of the battleships that's broadside on. Pop the torps. You need to turn to port. You need to pop the torps against the Madonna. Oh, we still hit something far in the back. Guess the torpedoes are... Yeah, there's still a torpedo going there. If only I had the cursed fish here. Look at that, there's more in the water. I do believe that the Italian ships were the ones that had a lot of torpedo resistance. So they might not care that they're going to get hit by torps. I mean, sure, it won't look good on the captain, but an anti-torp... Anti-torp 1? Really? But it was the Italians, right, that had the massive torpedo blisters. Is that maybe one of the more updated versions? No, anti-torp 1. Interesting. I thought I had battleships against me relatively late. Oh, it was the Spanish. It was the Spanish. The Spanish had the massive anti-torps. Oh boy. Okay, you did launch your torps. Don't go running around catching torpedoes everywhere, Rehe. If you just stick to 30 knots, you'd be fine. Idiot. Okay, light cruiser done. Yeah, no, let's retreat into the enemy fleet. Let's see how that's gonna go. Target this. Same. Target this. Liguria. Target this. Come on. Oh, there's another one right next to me. Cliff, you can handle that, right? Mr. Richardson. Engage this target. And everybody, for the love of God and my sanity, please stop launching torpedoes. Just stop. Cliff, what the... 85? Cliff is setting a new speed record right here. I knew Chinese invented the gunpowder, supposedly, but they've also invented the afterburner. Gas turbine and a half. How are the battle cruisers doing? Because I do need these in future engagements. Ideally in one piece. They have done... nothing? 89? This is atrocious, gentlemen. Atrocious, I say. Slow down. That was really bad. Yeah. The Gili could still fight, especially against the light cruisers. So you should do that. The heavy cruisers that I have sort of in the middle of their division need to be on their way out. And I believe they are. That's the Cliff zipping around. We still have... No, we had a heavy cruiser there. That's the Ningxia, which is still... Yeah, so that's the thing. Are you actually sinking? Or are you just... What's your speed? No, I can't see that anymore. Because you're dead. Or are you? You're still... You're still doing 76 knots. Oh, it's sinking, alright. Good lord. That has to be the fastest, slowest sinking that I've seen. Ah, we sunk a destroyer. Man. Okay, who do we have here? I think the best part of this whole battle is that nobody knows who's targeting what anymore, and everybody is throwing torpedoes into the water. So the seas are filled with torps. It's just that nobody knows whose torps. And we all have to dodge them. Wait, why is the veteran gamer now part of this division? Oh, let me guess. You ate a few torps? First I need you to break off. Where are you? Here. Yeah, you ate a couple of torps. Time to go. There goes the Yunnan. Time to go. That is not looking very promising, but this division arguably is capable of dodging that by itself. They definitely have the maneuverability for it. What I really want is these battle cruisers with their 18-inch guns to really contribute something to the fight. They just haven't done anything. They're not extremely far away. They've got a very good rangefinder. Generation 2 radar rangefinder is not the best, but it's enough. Oh, but you're targeting something way off in the distance. Oh, you're still trying to sink the Leone. Okay, yeah, that explains it. Switch targets to the Madonna. The state of the Italian fleet is still a bit too good for my liking. They've got too much health between all of them. Oh, hi. I had no idea you were still here. Venezia. Sink the Venezia if you can. Might be the last thing you do. Oh crap, there's 3 more heavies. Alright, battlecruiser. We're gonna come to a new course over starboard, and thereby hopefully intercepting the heavy cruisers. Gili. You're alone. You're intercepting the Pompeo. This light cruiser seems to be going down. 264. My heavy cruisers, of course, are a bit more expensive, but it's I think it's an acceptable price for a CL. At least in the 1950s. Cliff Richardson has an extreme dodge bonus because of his crazy speed. Are we actually landing any punishing hits on the Madonna at the moment? Parcel pens. Good talk. Oh, right. It's the Italians with their crazy armor. Yeah, these things can definitely take a beating. They cannot take a torpedo, though. So the next fight that these might have against the cursed fish, they're going to be in for a very rough time. We're going to load the armor piercing, and we're going to pummel this ship into the ground. That's the plan, anyways. Of course, we are turning, and as such, potentially unable to put our guns on target, at least for the time being. Hawaii did a whole 585 damage. Well done. Almost no chance to pen. Blocked, ricochet. Crew loss? Oh, maybe. Crew loss could be an option here. Cramped crew quarters. There goes the Luigi. So, just eliminating the crew is a somewhat viable option. That was the Luigi. And there must be Mario. No, that's the Pompeo. You folk are engaging that all by yourselves. Good job. What are you targeting these days? Did you really take a torpedo? Idiot. Doesn't matter. We're on our way out anyway. I'm going to try and disengage with these ships now. Especially this side. Oh, the Songjiang is still in there. See, this is the moment when you do actually activate your afterburners and get out as quickly as you can. We are really not doing anything with AP. HE. These battle cruisers should at this point be turned around, so I can start intercepting these heavies. Unfortunately, the heavies are also intercepting the Jiwang. That's heavily armored? Wow! Ho ho ho! Okay, that's a bit more than I was expecting. It's like it's feast or famine with the AI and their armor scheming. Either it's we have no armor, or it's we have all the armor everywhere. There is no middle ground. And this guy went for we have all the armor. Also, there's 600 million a pop, these boats. No, we don't strictly need to ram them. Yeah, this seems to be working out a little better, the HE shells. Because of course 18-inch HE is no joke. That will definitely do damage against a ship. Lord of Chains, show me what you can do. I should put those 8-inchers to work against those heavy cruisers here. How far away are they? 15 clicks. Okay, yeah, there goes the Jingwan. These battleships, 2.2 billion apiece. Wow. Pretty expensive. Veteran Gamer, by contrast, 3 billion. This thing has contributed absolutely nothing for the price tag that it has. Bit of a joke. Okay, we're going to switch targets to that. Can high explosive pen that? Not at 15 kilometers out, it can't. Okay, auto select. Hawaii, get your slow butt back in formation. Heavy cruisers here are eliminating the Pompeo. Okay, there goes the Pompeo. It's pretty hard to keep track of where my ships are. And potentially more importantly, how many I've sunk from the enemy. Like, I really don't know. Turn this way. None of that changing nonsense. Okay, you're disengaging. Even you don't strictly have to. Gilly is also trying to disengage. Well, you got torp range. Might as well. We're starting to put some... Yeah, we're starting to put some holes into the Piloto. Which is one of those super heavily armored cruisers. 38 tails slamming 18-inch high... No, 18-inch armor piercing into her. That last shell looks decent. Yeah, partial pen only. That's what the armor gets you. What's done most damage? Let me guess. The 9-inchers? Yeah. And then the torps right after it. 9-inchers are a bit unfair to compare because I just had a whole bunch of heavy cruisers. Everything with 9-inch guns. So in that sense, it makes perfect sense that the 9-inch guns did by far the most damage. And then they got the single barrel 10-inch guns. With shortened barrels? It's a really weird ship, the Piloto. Ammo-wise, we can keep it up for a while. Not concerned. Bonk. The amount of punishment that these ships can take is impressive. Do you have the crew to work with that? Or do you have cramped crew quarters? No, you got... Oh, you got spacious crew quarters. Look at you. Well done, that. Where is all that fire going? It appears to be chasing my heavy cruiser. Nope. Really? You're targeting my DDs? No. You're targeting the Rehe. Okay. Fine. You're targeting the veteran gamer. Isn't she way out of your range at this point? 42 clicks? Oh, you can touch that with armor piercing, but you don't load that. Oh, they still have plenty of shells. They can keep it up for a long time. I do, however, need to start getting a bit worried about the torpedo capabilities of these cruisers. Especially this one, the Santa Maria. No, hold on. You're something else. There goes the Piloto. Excellent. Next. Farnese. Come on, boys. Get your damage in. Are you one of those super heavy armored? Yeah, you are. Lovely. Okay. Come on, BCs. Get the damage in. You can do it. Partial pens only. These things are shrugging off 18-inch shells. It's like firing a Volkswagen Beetle at a vehicle. Like at a ship, and it just ricochets off. Now you're getting it. Ho ho ho! And then some. That did a lot of damage. But the damage is racking up so fast that it's very hard to keep track of it. Hold on, it was 14-inch that did the damage. The Hawaii? Yes, the Hawaii. Impressive. Keep it up. The Hawaii has redeemed itself. Isn't that nice? All these 14-inchers finally coming into use. Sink it. This thing has almost no armor. Good damage. Very good damage. 7,300. Yeah, she's gone. At this point, the American, no. The Italian battleships are really going to have to make a choice as to what they want to fight. It seems that they have mostly made up their mind and are targeting my battle cruisers. So it's time to start getting away. Please be a dud. You're not a dud. Run. We have done a lot of damage here. Now it's time to disengage. Why the hell are you guys all the way out there? Okay, whatever. I'm targeting a random heavy cruiser here in the middle of the formation, hoping that I can get some stray shots to, well, eradicate a destroyer. You never quite know what you're going to hit. As for the battleships, this ship is generally in pretty good condition, but the problem that I have is that she has no escorts, and she had that whole enemy heavy cruiser screen going for her. At this point, she's already too far away from the battle to be useful. Veteran Gamer took a couple of torps, and I still need that ship intact. So it's going to be disengaging with the battle cruisers, and that ought to be sufficient to give the Italians a very bloody nose, as well as give myself, well, I think maybe 60,000 victory points, somewhere in that range. Of course, that did come at a price. They did a bunch of damage to my ships, and they sunk a couple of my heavies. Alright, let me disengage and see if I can keep these guys alive. So, my bet estimate of how many victory points I would get is not far off, 56k. The enemy gained 13k. I badly bruised one of their battleships. Heavy cruisers took 2-3 losses, their light cruisers took 7 losses, and their DDs took some losses. I lost 3 ships, a heavy cruiser, a heavy cruiser, a heavy cruiser, and one was badly injured. So that's our first skirmish with the Italians. I'm sure it will not be the last, because I am posing a very sizable threat, and the AI is going to have to do something about that. Exactly how much more they are willing to throw into this fight, that remains to be seen. Because they have plenty of battleships, it's just that they're all in Asia. If only they would send them back. They would probably, and well, very quickly, be able to gain the upper hand. Because as good as, for example, the Cursed Fish ships are, against, I don't know, 10 battleships firing 14-inch high explosive at them, their torpedo tubes, oh, will melt very quickly. Not a very favorable situation to find myself in. So, what I'm going to do is continue this war. I am going to continue this war and make sure that we get a bit more territory in Europe. I feel like I still have to take some territory from the Italians because we might have done a little bit of that down in Africa, but probably not that much. So if we can take northern Algeria and maybe some of the other territories to cut off their access here, that'd be great. But that'll have to be in a future episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this skirmish. Let me know what your thoughts are down below, and I'll see you soon for the next one.